Hi there, I'd like to show you how to wear your baby in a method of using what's called a ring sling. The ring sling is designed with two rings here, a portion of fabric that is roughly 6 feet or 2.5 yards, and this particular one has a pocket. To use your sling, I'm right-handed, so I'm going to hold these in my left hand. Rings in the left hand. I want to pick up my right hand, my tail, through both rings. This one is flannel backed. It's a little thicker. It will take me a little more time. You want to open the rings. Now that I've put the whole tail through both rings, open the rings, and you're going to drive the tail over this ring into the ring in my hand. Just gonna, whatever works for you to get it through. As you can see, I have the portion that was attached. I fed it through both rings, came over a ring, opened the rings, and through the ring. Now, very much like a beauty pageant, we will put on our sash. I'm again right-handed, so I like to wear mine on my left shoulder. I'm going to put it over my head. My aim is so that the rings are on my left shoulder. And I want to spread it across my back. And the very important thing with any sling is to ensure that it is across your shoulder and the rings are high, almost like you would be wearing a brooch. As you can see, they're, again, fanned here. I'm going to straighten it in the back. I'd like to turn around and show you that. Kind of spread it across your back. And now I've got a pouch here for her to come in. Now, if I find that the pouch feels a little tight, I'm a heavier chested person, so sometimes I have to have a little more room than someone who is not so endowed. So I will actually back up my fabric to give myself some more room for a larger pouch. Once you do that, you can always come back in and tighten it, and I'll show you the methods in which to do that. Now I'm ready to load my baby. Sweet girl. Much like you're burping her, you're going to prop her up on your shoulder. Legs in first. I'm going to ease her down. With a newborn, their legs will actually buckle under them. She is not quite 3 months old, and she's discovering she likes to stand. So there's two ways I can do this. One, I can kind of encourage her to buckle her knees. Or two, I can actually open the bottom, and so that her legs will hang out a little bit, and her bottom will sit right here, tucked right in the seat, very safely. Which is what I'm going to do. Now, I've got some leeway here. She can kind of, wiggle around there, which is okay, but I feel more comfortable if it's a little tighter. So with this extra that I have here, I actually noticed that here is where I want to tighten it. You can kind of pull, like if you can't figure out where you want to tighten it out, you can pull one direction and then pull the other opposite. But I know where mine is because I know it's the edge, and that's easy to find. And I just adjust it back up. And that is how she can ride for quite a while, actually. She's comfortable. She's leaning at the moment, but very often she will center herself and she'll fall asleep here on my chest. And so as you can see, spread across my back, particularly across my shoulder, rings high, and her bottom's here. She's very well secured and is not going anywhere. So now that we have her like that, I would like to take her out. I'm just going to lift up, aiming as if you're going to burp her. And you may want to loosen your sling when this happens, when you want to take her out. And up and away. And that's how it's done. Some things I'd like to share with you on safety tips on ring slings. The first one being that any ring sling that you have, very important, in fact I believe it's the most important, is to make sure that the rings are not rings that you've bought at a craft store. Those rings are very thin, they're welded in one portion and have not been rated for heavy weights. You'll find that they're used for macrame, things of that nature, and they're very thin. A proper ring should be at least 1/4 inch thick, which, if I calculate correct, should be around 1 centimeter thick. And if it does have a weld, it should be rated. The ring will actually say that it's rated for so many pounds. For example, many rings that you'll find in certain horse tack shops or farm equipment are rated for 300 pounds. And those particular rings would be safe to use in a ring sling. Most things other than the only other acceptable one that you should use should actually be a solid metal ring with no seams. It would completely be seamless, and you can find those online. It's not hard to find. The particular ones in this one are zinc coated steel, and these particular ones are rated for 300 pounds. Another feature that you want to notice, if you're looking at slings that have been handmade, you'll find some wonderful, beautiful, excellent slings out there. You want to make sure that this portion here is reinforced well, not to come apart. Secondly, you need to also make sure that it's not made of quilting fabric. As beautiful as quilting fabric is, it's not made for durability of long wear. It's not made for apparel. Therefore, it's not made to move with the body. It also won't hold up to long-term washing in the washing machine. So be sure that you get something apparel fabric. This one again happens to be flannel backed for warmth. You can find all sorts of different offerings and fabrics out there, but just be sure you choose a safe one: broadcloth, denim, apparel cloth, things like that, and you'll do better. There's companies online that you're going to find that will be very helpful, but I want you to know, if you sew, you too can make a sling. There's free patterns online for you. There's free patterns for all the different types of slings that are available. Many people in other countries who do not have this access to the resources that we have here, particularly in the States, but in certain parts of the world, not all places have the same resources. And I want you to know that you too can make your own sling, that it doesn't have to cost a lot of money, and that the main benefit is wearing your baby. Wearing your baby has proven. I'm a nurse, and I'm very interested in the health benefits for my child as well as others. I speak to a lot of people about how to actually wear their babies and what you can do, what it promotes. If your baby has GERD or colic, often or spits up a lot, if your baby hasn't been diagnosed with those things, having the baby in the upright position against your body actually promotes the fluids to digest properly. Therefore, they spit up less. They've done studies that have found that babies who are worn, which again, this is called baby wearing, they cry less. They're more attached. And you would think that a baby who is worn would actually have more separation anxiety when they, get older and they move on or they go to school and such. But the studies show that those babies indeed do not have separation anxiety and usually foster better and whenever it's time to go on and leave the home for the day. And what else do I want to tell you? I would like you to know that baby wearing is easy. Again, many people can do it. Fathers should do it. Grandparents, if you are in the market to teach your parents how to do it, if you've had a baby and you want to teach your parents, encourage them and know that it's not unsafe. Grandparents they have bodies too, and those babies love to be held, and mom needs a break sometimes. So we want to make sure that you teach your parents how to do it, and grandparents. And your caretaker, if you have a private caretaker who's able to wear your baby, encourage them to do so. Leave them with a sling so that they can do it on a daily basis, and that way your baby will foster. We want to ensure that our babies are smart and healthy. They build their muscles in their necks because they're being worn with you. They feel so safe, and they actually have shown in studies that their IQs are higher. And I have a feeling that it has relating to being able to see their environment, such as you're seeing it yourself. And so this is just my quest to encourage mothers around the world to wear their babies and love their babies and have healthy babies.